Hello students, I am Harshila Datte, Senior Lecturer of Department of Computer Engineering. In this video lecture, I am going to cover the second subtopic of Unit 1, that is threats to security. The unit outcome of this video lecture is explain the characteristics of given type of threat. The learning outcomes are, after learning this video lecture, you will understand the concept of assets, vulnerability, threats and risks. In this video lecture, I am going to tell you how these four terms are connected to each other, and fifth term also, there is a countermeasures. Then threats to security, virus, phases of virus, types of virus, worm, Trojan horse, intruder and insider. So let us start with the first concept, assets. So assets can be people, assets, property and or the information. The people may include the employees and the customers along with the other invited persons such as contractors or guests. The properties assets consist of both tangible and intangible items that can be assigned a value. Intangible assets include reputation and the proprietary information, and information assets may include database, software code, critical company records and many other intangible items. So these are the three assets: property, people and information. Asset is what we are trying to protect. Vulnerability. Vulnerability is nothing but the weaknesses and in the assets. So vulnerability is the weaknesses or gaps in the security program that can be exploited by the threat to gain the unauthorized access to assets. So vulnerability is nothing but the weaknesses of the security program of the assets. A vulnerability is a weakness in our protection efforts. The next concept is a threat. A threat is anything that can exploit the vulnerability, that takes advantage of the weaknesses to harm the assets, intentionally or accidentally, and obtain damage or destroy an asset. The threat is what we are trying to protect against. Next term is the risk. Risk is the potential for loss, damage or destruction of an asset as a result of the threat exploiting a vulnerability. So risk is the intersection of assets, threats and vulnerability. So asset is something that we are going to protect. Threat is something from which we are going to protect the assets, and vulnerability is something which is weaknesses in the security program of the assets that can be attacked by the threats. So assets plus threats and vulnerability is equal to risks. So if this happens, what will we can do? There are the next concept, countermeasures. A countermeasure is a defensive technology method used to prevent and exploit from the successfully occurring once the threat has been detected. A service patches and the access control list are also considered the type of the countermeasures. So if there is a threat is detected, then we are going to defend our system with the help of the countermeasures. Threats of the security. These are the 5 threats of the security: virus, worm, Trojan horse, intruder and the insider. Let us understand the virus first. So what is virus? It is a program which attaches itself to another program and causes the damage to the computer system or the network. A virus is not the self-executed program. It is loaded onto your computer system without your knowledge and runs against your wishes. So we can see the diagram of the virus. The original code is summation of a plus b and printing the addition. This is the original code. So what is virus? It is a program which attaches itself to another program. So in the second diagram you can see that there is a virus code is attaches in between the code, original code. And the virus code is what? Deleting all the files and send copy of myself to all using users address books. So this is how the virus code is attached and executed. When original code is executed, the original as well as virus code is also get executed because virus is attached to the original code. These are the 4 phases of the virus. First is the dormant, In this phase, the virus is idle and eventually activated by some event. The second phase is propagation. In propagation phase, the virus places an identical copies of itself into other program or into certain systems areas on the disk. So in dormant phase, your viruses get attached to another original program. In propagation phase, it gets started making its copies. In triggering phase, third phase, the virus is activated to perform the function for which it was intended. Means in triggering phase, where the virus's code is attached to any other program, that program is executed by the user. So automatically that program as well as virus code also get executed. And the last phase is the execution phase. In this phase, the virus function is performed. Means virus is doing all the destructive things in execution phase. These are some of the types of the virus. Parasitic virus. It attaches itself to executable code and replicates itself. So parasitic virus are the virus which attaches to all the exe files. When infected code is executed, it will find the other executable code and program to infect. The second type is the memory resident virus. This type of virus lives in the memory, means in RAM, after its execution. It inserts themselves as a part of operating system or application and can manipulate any file that is executed, copied or moved. So whenever this memory resident virus comes in a RAM, whatever program be executed, all the programs are loaded into RAM and RAM affect that virus is affected all the programs and application which are currently executed. Next is the non-resident virus. This type of virus executed itself and terminated or destroyed after specific times. Next is the boot sector virus. This type of virus infects the boot record and spread through the system when system is booted from the disk containing the virus. So whenever we are start the system or boot the system, this virus get spread in our system. Next is the overwriting virus. This type of virus overrides the code with its own code. Stealth virus. This is the virus who hides the modification it has made in the file or boot record, so no one can easily detect that virus. Next is the macro virus. These viruses are not executable. It affects the Microsoft Word like document and they can spread through the email. So these are some virus types. Next threat to security is a worm. So worm is not a malicious, it is a malicious program that spreads automatically, but it is not executable. Worm is something which is resource eater. So worm spread from computer to computer without any human action intervention. It propagated automatically. They are spread by exploiting vulnerabilities in the computer system. You can see in diagram, one worm creates the multiple two worms files to create the 4. So each time these codes are replicated. Worm is designed to copy itself from PC to PC via network or internet. They spread much faster than the virus. Its effects are localize its damage to the computer network by causing increased bandwidth. Worm consists of the attack mechanism, payload and target selection. So worm continuously eating the resources, so the authenticated and authorized user can't do his or her work because all resources are captured by the worm. And your system goes down if worm is in your PC. The next threat is a Trojan horse. The concept of the Trojan is completely different from the virus and worm. So Trojan horse is basically Trojan horse is derived from the Trojan horse tale in the Greek mythology. A Trojan horse is a type of malware that conceals its true contents to fool the user into thinking it's a harmless file. Like wooden horse used to sack Troy, the payload carried by the Trojan is unknown to the user, but it can act as a delivery vehicle for the variety of threats. So, Trojan horse are the more harmful than the viruses and the worm. Next threat is the intruder. Intruder keep trying attacks till success as they have the access and knowledge to cause the immediate damage to the organization. They are hacker or the cracker. Intruders are the illegal users. And these are less dangerous than the insider. They have to study or gain the knowledge about the security system, and they do not have access to the system. So, intruder, there are 3 levels of the intruders. Intruder is the one who create the intrusion, means some malicious activities. So, at the lowest level, there are the script kiddies. These are the individual performing the activities like probing networks or scanning individual systems. The script kiddies are not cannot write the script to attack on the vulnerabilities, but their work is to download any script for making attack and try to break the system. Many 86 to 91% of the crime of the internet happens to the script kiddies. The next is the script writers. These are more technical than the script kiddies. There are the people who are capable of writing the script to exploit the known vulnerabilities. These individuals are much more technically competent than the script kiddies, as they account for an estimated 8 to 12% of the malicious internet activity. And above it, at the top level, there are the elite hacker. Elite hacker are the person who highly technical and these are capable of writing the scripts that exploit the vulnerabilities, but are also capable of discovering new vulnerabilities. This group is very smallest because only the 1 to 2% of them are responsible for the intrusion activities. So these are the 3 levels: script kiddies, script writer, and elite hackers. The next is the insider. Insider are the more dangerous than the outsider. Outsider, you can say the intruder, as they have the access and knowledge to cause the immediate damage to the organization. They can be more in number who are directly or indirectly accessing the organization. They may give remote access to the organization. Insiders are the authorized user who try to access the system or network for which he is unauthorized. Insiders are not hackers, and insiders are legal users. You can take an example that if you want to, if you are at the home, if you want to steal any money from your home, you can easily steal that money from your home because you know where is money is kept. But if there is a outsider thief is come to your home for to steal that money, he or she cannot easily steal that money because he or she didn't know where you keep your money or all thing. Okay, so that's why insider are more dangerous than the outsider. Thank you.